Yo, yo, what's good? It's your guy Bendu Ren, the illest film reviewer this side of the galaxy, back again. And I want to review a little film for y'all today, a little independent film that came out in 2018 called Deadpool 2. It's not really an indie film, it was a big budget blockbuster film by like Fox, but still, fuck it. I'm going to review this shit. And I want to start this review off by saying that I am kind of biased because, well, literally every fucking word that nigga Ryan Reynolds be saying be having me weak as fuck. This nigga could literally read the phone book and have me on the floor dying of laughter. So that's just my bias right there. Like his comedy, his humor just like works with my brain for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so I want to start this film off by saying I think that the first Deadpool is one of the best comic book films ever made. One of the best scripts that we've read, from the comic book genre, which is basically like the new genre of film. Like back in the day, it used to be the buddy cop thing. Then go back even, a little further than that, it was the Western. And now we have the comic book age that Martin Scorsese doesn't like. So whatever. But yeah. Um, the script for Deadpool, the first Deadpool, was just amazing. It was so genius, just the way they handled the comedy, the way they told the story, like even the marketing. Like that's what really got people was the marketing for Deadpool. And I have to say that again, Deadpool 2 followed with a slightly lesser brilliant script, but still brilliant in its own right. Like, dude, like just this time telling a family story. Like the last time, in the marketing, as I was saying, they were talking about, oh, the first Deadpool, this is a love story. And it's like, yeah, all right, fuck out of here. This motherfucker's talking about like giant tits and you see strip clubs and you're like, nah, man, this ain't no love story, but it actually is a fucking love story. It's kind of like the superhero genre's first rom com a little bit, which is kind of weird. But like I don't know. Like the second one, just first off, just starting it off like killing the beautiful Marina background. Like you just kill her off the rip. It was like, damn, okay, but it kind of took a dive because yeah, he fucked the people up that killed her. Like he fucked them niggas up. But the leader got away, and you just see him running. You're like, oh shit, he's about to fucking torture this motherfucker. Like he's gonna be like when he was trying to catch Ajax or whatever, and you just see him like, oh, you better turn your head for this one, and then he like just tortures one of the guys. Or whatever. I thought it was gonna be that, but nah, he just hugs the nigga. I'm like, the fuck. Yo, like you supposed to be killing this nigga, but then you just see him turn and the bus hit both of them, and you're like, oh shit. So you see him wallow in his despair, and it was honestly dope. It was funny, but still dope to see. Like this nigga lost everything, and although it was over exaggerated, like that's genuinely how this guy feels. That's the best way he can handle and process, this, the love of his life's death. Man, is being overtly funny for no reason, but the jokes, man. As soon as Colossus comes and retrieves his body parts, man, it was like the jokes, man. The jokes. It was just after one after another, just fire and hilarious. And yeah. So you see him become an X-Men trainee, as everybody has to say in the film. But yeah. So the beginning of the film honestly started off a little slow for me. Like, the first Deadpool was so genius in how it was structured. Like this one kind of just went with like a regular storytelling. Like although the blowing himself up scene kind of played in the beginning, it wasn't as genius as the first Deadpool film was. So, but yeah, but still overall like the jokes hit were hilarious, funny. Like the funniest joke in this bitch to me was when fucking Cable shot the dude with the dreads and like he's like, you fucking racist, you killed Black Tom. It was like, dude, it was a white dude with dreadlocks. But that was that shit. I was on the floor dying, dude. Like 3 o'clock in the morning, laughing hard as fuck. Like, but yeah, the script, like I said, was amazing because that's what got pushed the first one over. And honestly, the acting, the comedic timing was better in this one though. Like minus the whole death scene when he was supposed to die, it was like that was another point of the film. I was like, okay, you're just dredging this on. Like, come on, like, ah. But yeah, Other than that, there's no bad in this film to me. I know a lot of people didn't weren't super enthusiastic with the sequel, but I love that shit. Like even right down to the fucking I forgot Lil Pump and French Montana made a fucking, made a record for this shit. Like I hate the record, but with the song being in the movie, what it's for, and the joke that it follows, like it's perfect. So yeah, uh, another. So obviously, I'm going into the standouts now. The film, I would say it's without going that Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is the standout of the film. But for the sake of highlighting other performances and other things in the film that I fucked with, I'm going to take him out of it. It was weird. So even though she was only in the film for a limited amount of time, Marina Baccarin just bodied it again. Like the dynamic, like you would think it's all him, but nah, her jokes are hilarious. Like just the part where he's in like the little death, he finally gets to go see her, but he has to go because Cable's doing the time travel shit. She's just like, it was like, don't fuck Jesus while you're here. She's like, don't fuck Colossus. He was like, what? And it just gets dragged out. Like even her jokes were hilarious. It was like, man, and she delivers them because I've always seen her more dramatic shit. Like she was in Firefly back in the day. She was in Gotham, if you guys watched that. And yeah, she's also the voice of Gideon on the or no, not the Flash, on the Flash, because there's a different actress that does the voice of Gideon for Legends, but she's the voice of Barry Allen's Gideon in the Flash. So, but anyway, she always does more serious roles, I guess. And it was like seeing her do this comedic shit was just like in the first one, it was like shocking. I was like, oh, okay, she's playing a funny prostitute. I love it though, because I love Marina Baccarin. Like I said, the beautiful Marina Baccarin. But I digress. Yeah, she was one of the standouts for me. But honestly, Domino. I loved Zazie Beetz' Domino. Like, everybody is all hype. Well, not hype, but has seen her lately when she was in the Joker. But to me, I like her when she does comedy, man. Like in Atlanta and now in this, it's just like when her and Wade was arguing over whether luck is a fucking superpower or not. She was like, it's totally a superpower. He's like, all right, look, we're just gonna like meet in the middle and say that it's not. But it is. And they just keep going back and forth. And then like you just see this motherfucker like it's not very cinematic as they do like this CGI cinematic fest of how cinematic the power of luck can be. And that was just she bodied it, man. Like that's why I hope Disney give us at least one rated R X Force film because there's so much shit that you can do. Like, dude, like he's basically telling you throughout the whole film. Like every time he sees Dom, he's like X Force. Like, yo, you have to at this point. So it's like, yeah, man, like she was another standout. I liked Josh Brolin as Cable, but for the sake of the story that they went with, I have the whole beef between Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds. I kind of sided with Tim Miller because if that's the story you decided to go with, you should have casted Kyle Chandler as Cable opposed to Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is just a straight up badass. Like that's the type of dude he plays. Like he can obviously bring, those sentiments, the emotional sentiments. I mean, we saw the dude like play a CGI character and made us feel for him after wiping out half the fucking universe. But I thought Kyle Chandler would have been a better fit for the story that they chose, but Josh Brolin was still good. He was solid. I would like to see him in X Force and fulfill out that badass Cable that we know, given that he's going to be around now. So yeah, another standout is somebody that's not in front of the camera, but the gentleman behind the camera, David Leitch. David Leitch is somebody that I kind of I got into him because he was one of the directors of John Wick. And those guys, Chad, I think his name's Chad Stahelski, and David Leitch come from the Matrix fame, where they were Keanu Reeves' stunt coordinators. All his films have been pretty good to me. Like Atomic Blonde was amazing. Obviously the John Wick, the first one. But Atomic Blonde, man, just the action in that was insane. So when he was announced as the replacement for Tim Miller, I thought it was a plus because it's like the action is going to be good, and that's kind of what I wanted in Deadpool. And man, the action was far better than the first one. Like this one, the action in this, you could tell he wanted to make it as practical as possible. Like you didn't see a lot of those CGI Deadpool moves that you saw in the first one because Tim Miller's a great director. Don't let this last Terminator film fool you. Tim Miller's a great director, but it's just that to me, when it comes to the action flair, he comes from a CGI background, whereas David Leitch comes from the practical background. So I really like the action. Like when they were beating the shit out of the pedophiles at the hospital and shit. Like that was amazing. And then yeah, so the action sequences were amazing. Even the fucking fight between Colossus and the Juggernaut, like those action sequences, they could have done some boring CGI fight as Deadpool said was coming, but the fight between them was amazing. It was fire. I still do like the Gina Carano Colossus fight better, but this one was pretty solid too. Yeah. So David Leitch, like I got to give him his props. Like, but what caught my eye with this film was the way he handled the lighting and the coloring. Like that was something that you wouldn't expect from a Deadpool film, but the way this film is lit, the way it's shot is just amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah. And that was one of the aspects that really caught my eye. I'm like, okay, this guy didn't just come in here and bullshit like let Ryan Reynolds run the show. He actually did some shit here, which I loved. Yeah, so the action, the lighting, the shot selections, those were all things that added on to the top of the comedy for me that was already there. So, yeah, so all in all, Deadpool 2 is an amazing film. I'd rate it a 7 out of 10. I give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's quite better than the first one in terms of story, but in terms of action, yeah, definitely. But the story wasn't as good as the first one was. Like the kid, oh yeah, the kid that Deadpool was protecting, I liked him. I thought his jokes were funny. I thought some of the things he did was funny. I just necessarily didn't give a fuck about a lot because they didn't really give you a lot of him, honestly. It was mostly just him and the Juggernaut just walking around until they got to the end fight. But yeah. Um yeah, so the relationship between, Deadpool and Cable, that was dope too. Honestly, I'm just waiting for X Force. That's why I didn't really talk about that a lot because we got it, but it's like I need more, and I hope Dopenders and X Force let them be part of the team, man. So all in all, like I said before, I give Deadpool a 7 out of 10, and watch it drunk, high, or not at all. Either way, it's going to be good. So, yeah. So this has been Ben Duran again, signing off. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we're doing right and wrong, and more content coming to the channel soon. All right, peace.